Hello, everybody. Coming to you from the Georgia Mountain Center in Gainesville, Georgia. I'm Gary Glenn along with Bray Devers, and tonight it's a night of fights as North Georgia Video Productions and Fight Fusion presents an evening of mixed martial arts. And Bray, a lot of these folks are very early in their career. I saw at least one debut fight, so it's kind of anybody's game tonight, and a lot of things might happen that people are not expecting.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. We got a lot of guys that, like you said, that are new to the game. They've probably been training a while. A lot of different gyms on the card tonight. So I expect to see a lot of stand-up. I expect to see a lot of ground. It's really anybody's game. It's a toss-up.
And I noticed, too, that we've got a variety of fighting styles.
Large variety. Several jiu-jitsu schools represented, several stand-up schools represented, and several kind of hybrid style of fighting gyms that, you know, it should be an interesting night. And we ought to see a lot of difference in the action. Well,
you've been around the game for a while. What draws people to this? I know that you probably got a lot of kids that come in from high school or collegiate wrestling. You probably got some amateur boxers that come into it, and they wonder, what do they say? Well, let's just give this a shot.
Well, you know, MMA's been big on the scene for a few years now, and you know, it's definitely picked up steam with the wrestlers, because previously you'd wrestle and then you wouldn't have anywhere to take your career. If you weren't good enough to go to college or weren't good enough to go to the Olympics, you wrestled and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
Now, with the popularity of MMA, a lot of wrestlers are finding ways to make a living off of this. They got to start somewhere. They got to start in the amateur ranks, and that's what we're going to see tonight.
I was going to emphasize that all of these will be amateur fights tonight.
All of these will be amateur. The Georgia rules are a little hinky. We got a good handle on that. We'll explain what's going on when this when it goes down. We will see 2 advanced amateur fights. Those rules are more of what you'll see with the full-blown professional MMA rules.
So they adjusted a little bit to make sure that particularly these amateurs early on don't get hurt.
Precisely. You know, I had the opportunity to talk with our head ref who will be in the cage, Adam Sellers, earlier, and he emphasized that fighter safety is the main priority. He's going to be on top of the action. He's going to be watching these guys, making sure they stay safe.
All right. You stay with us. We got the first bout coming up in just a moment. All right, we are back. First bout just about ready to get underway. This will be a couple of guys in the 189-pound weight class. James Plough from American Top Team will be fighting out of the red corner, and Brent Elledge from Team Practice will be fighting out of the blue corner. Plough born in '88 and Elledge in '83. In fact, Elledge has got a birthday coming up, it looks like, on the 19th. You've got some information on him over there, Bray.
Yeah, Elledge is fighting out of Team Praxis down around the Macon area. They're a very well-established Georgia team. Cam McHargue is very, very active in the MMA scene with the Boxing Commission. Several UFC fighters have come out of there, most notably Cole and Micah Miller. Cole, of course, fighting in the 155-pound division. Micah working his way back to the UFC. Has typically fought at 145. But team practice is well-rounded. I expect to see a lot of action out of these guys. Brent tells us that his influences are mainly Muay Thai and Kung Fu. So you don't see Kung Fu often in the cage. So it'll be interesting to see stylistically what he brings tonight.
Yeah, most people, when you think of Kung Fu, you think of Bruce Lee or the old David Carradine TV series.
Yeah, Bruce Lee is absolutely the father of Kung Fu for most of us here in America. So we'll see what comes out. He was also an early proponent of MMA, so we'll see if Brent can bring a little Bruce Lee to the cage.
Well, Brent, just about ready to celebrate his 28th birthday. James Pla, who will be in the red corner, will be introduced in just a moment. Ellis just got checked out by the referee, and you're familiar with him, Adam Sellers.
Yeah, I talked to Adam before the fight. Very, very competent. Been doing this for a while. He is going to be right on top of the action, protecting our fighters. James, walking into the cage right now, trains at American Top Team. They've been around on the national scene for a while, and the last couple of years been here in Atlanta. The head trainer over there is a guy by the name of Jacau. He's fought many, many times all over the world, in Brazil and here in the USA for the UFC. Interesting, James lists his main strength as Muay Thai. Now, American Top Team is known for being very, very well-rounded, but they're really, really known for their jiu-jitsu. So I'm interested to see the Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu influence versus the Kung Fu.
Is there any one component of mixed martial arts, Bray, that is more important in your opinion than the others? Is it grappling or is it the striking?
You know, back in the early days, I would say that grappling was more important, but as the sport's matured, all phases of combat are very, very important. There's not one that you can emphasize over the other.
And you know, and one thing that a lot of people that watch amateur wrestling, particularly maybe they've watched the NCAAs on television, or they've watched the Georgia State championships. One of the things they teach you as a wrestler is you never go to your back. But in this, it's not such a bad thing, is it? As a matter of fact, if you flip over on your stomach, you're liable to get choked out.
Absolutely. The back, if you're on your back, is typically known as the guard position. And you learn in jiu-jitsu that it's a neutral position. The top guy is as liable to get you as the bottom guy.
Being introduced by AJ Styles, Brent Ellich, our ring announcer tonight. A lot of people familiar with AJ from his exploits in the professional wrestling ring.
Yeah, AJ is a local kind of celebrity, if you will, and just an all-around nice guy. A lot of charisma, a lot of character. Just one of the nicest and most professional guys you could ever hope to be around.
I've had him on my TV show, and remarkable. Some of the things, you talk about athleticism, some of the stuff he can do in the wrestling is absolutely amazing.
Man, I've seen him do backflips off of balconies into the ring.
Isn't that something?
Stuff, just crazy stuff. You got to wonder if he's a little loose up top, but when you talk to him, you find out real quick that he's got his head screwed on straight.
In a different lifetime, he was a state championship wrestler at Johnson High School.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. The referee now giving final instructions to the fighters in the octagon there. Now you'll see Elledge in the black, mostly black trunks. And in the red and black trunks is going to be James Pla. Both these fighters had a maximum weight of 189 pounds and they're ready to go. Fighters starting off with some kicking. Now they're going to the boxing. Looked like I popped him one on the button.
Definitely seems both of them have strong stand-up skills. We'll see if either one of them tries to take it to the ground.
So far, they look like a couple of boxers right now with the kick thrown in there. At the shin guard zone now, that's one of the things for amateurs, isn't it?
Yeah, the amateur rules in Georgia are a little bit different than you know, straight MMA rules. But again, you know, these guys are coming out. Pla, this is his debut, and Elledge has a 0-1 record. So fighter safety is you know, just at the pinnacle of the concerns here.
Got him in the corner. Pla gets away.
just kind of feeling each other out here, picking their shots.
Looking for an opening. Nobody can see one yet, and nobody's really had a chance to take anybody to the ground yet.
Yeah, one of the strangest things about this is figuring out your range and knowing when to take that shot and try to get them down.
Another one of the amateur rules, you can't hit them while they're down, can you?
In the advanced amateur rules, you can, but here, once the fight hits the ground, there are no elbows and there's no punches to the head. You can punch to the body, but they will not be punching to the head. And you can bet Adam Sellers will be on top of that if they do.
The other thing you don't want to do when you're feeling the other guy out is make a mistake and give him an opening.
Yeah, that's critical. That's critical. You got to be defensive at all times.
Particularly if you've got a guy that's a good boxer, a good striker. You give him an opening, and all the fight can be over.
In an instant. Another funny thing we'll be watching tonight is they'll be watching the low kicks. You're not allowed to kick to the knees here. That may neutralize some of the Muay Thai guys, as they like to kick to the thighs and kick to the shins. Sometimes a knee gets caught in there. In the state of Georgia, for amateur, that is not okay.
The fighter with an obvious advantage here. Each one has landed a few blows, not particularly effective.
Here we go.
There's a grab.
Now we'll see how Elgin's on top. It looks like he's stuck in the half guard position. We ought to see him try to pass, and he passes the mount, but reversed very, very quickly by Pla.
Well, first round pretty even.
First round pretty even. You know, the judges tend to score takedowns pretty well, but since it was reversed very quickly, I don't know how that would go down on the judges' card. Another thing about Georgia amateur MMA that we should point out at this time is that the rounds are 3 minutes long, so not a whole lot of time to work and get comfortable. You got to come out fighting right away.
Now, college wrestling used to be 3 3-minute periods. Now they've gone to an opening 3-minute period. And
we're looking at the takedown there.
That's
and
Pla.
I don't know that I would call that a full takedown. It looks like there may have been a slip in there, but regardless, the action ended up on the ground. Unfortunately, he was not really able to take advantage of that position. As he tries to move to the mount, he gets reversed real quick.
Yeah, you're going to see Elledge come out here in just a minute. Well, have to get back to action, just about get back to live action here. But Elledge did reverse him there at the very end of the round. So right now, a very even fight. Fight's being put on by Fight Fusion. North Georgia Video Productions, of course, the production company bringing you the action. From the Georgia Mountain Center in Gainesville, I'm Gary Glenn along with Bray Devers. First fight of the evening. A couple of guys with the max weight of 189.
Here we go, starting round 2. I'd love to see the sportsmanship coming out and everybody touching hands and gloves, because this is a sport. We're not trying to hurt.
Well, again, let's see if we're going to get taken back down to the ground here again.
Here we are in the clinch, working. It looks like everybody's got an over-under. To get down to the ground, you ideally like to have a double underhook so you can take him down to the ground. It doesn't look like he's, oh, there we go, double underhooks, and now he's down.
Okay, that's Elledge on top. Looked almost like an old-fashioned bear hug when he just bear hugged him down.
Straight out of wrestling.
We talked to bear hug at one time. Coming back up.
Looks like he's got an arm in over there. Could work for a possible guillotine submission. We'll see. Nope, he's going to the back. Now in MMA, it's you don't really want to be in this position. You never want to have your back to your opponent because you can't see to defend.
Another reversal of position, but no points are given like in amateur wrestling now. This is on the judges' scorecard. They may be looking at some things, but there's nothing that goes up on a board.
Right. They're really looking for positional control, control of the cage, who's pushing the action. Those are the things the judges look at.
Well, these men are just swapping back and forth, and no obvious advantage to either one so far.
No, but this is where I like to see. I like to see the ground action. I am partial to the ground action. It looks like, no, it looked like he was looking for an arm bar for a minute, but it's back to the guard position. Now remember, we can't strike to the head here, so as he's got him locked down, his options are really limited. He's got to open up on the bottom to do something, and we expect advantage to be taken at that point in time. Still stuck in half guard. He should be looking to get that right leg out to pass to what we call side mount. That would be a dominant position where you could do some knees to the body, possibly some punches, and maybe even set up a submission.
Action is sort of frozen for a moment here.
There we go, seeing him pass the half guard. We'll see if he can capitalize on this position. There's some knees.
Well, towards the end of this, you'd have to say that Elledge has pushed the action here. He's the one that's controlling things right now, and see if Blah can come up.
Definitely looking good for the judges' scorecard being here on top position. Threw some knees, hasn't been too aggressive, but there we go with some punches. And Adam Sellers right on top of the action, stopping it as the bell rings.
All right. So far, it would seem that Elledge has got a slight edge, maybe.
I would say so. You know, they talked about this in the rules meeting. You don't ever really want to leave it in the judges' hands. You really want to finish the fight, so there's no controversy at the end. But if I'm sitting down there and the judges keep scoring this, I'd have to agree with you, Gary.
But it's very close, and you know this round could make all the difference right here.
This is it. Go big. One thing that I like about Fight Fusion is they take a lot of pride in trying to get these fights evenly matched. And I'd say we got a pretty evenly matched fight on our hands.
So far, so good. Got some heavier fighters coming up in just a moment. The next fight scheduled for a max weight of 205.
Yeah, you know, I like 205 is a good weight. But I'm partial to some of the lighter guys that we'll get an opportunity to see later tonight.
All right, start of the third and final round. Once again, James Plah and Brent Elledge. Plah from American Top Team and Elledge from Team Praxis. This is Plah's debut fight. Elledge so far, at least we think, with a slight edge. Plah's in the red and black trunks, Elledge in the mostly black trunks.
Looks like they're a little timid coming in the third round. It looks like you know, they may be thinking that they're pretty evenly matched and don't want to make a mistake here that would turn the judge's opinion against them.
I have seen fights turn in the last round when another guy was ahead on a knockout.
That's a great thing about MMA. It can end at any time. You gotta always be watching the action. Elledge looking a little tired. You can see his hands start to drop a little bit, not quite as high as they were in the first round.
Neither fighter right now looks like they want to take it back down to the mat.
Which is surprising. Elledge was looking pretty good on top last round. I would think that he would be interested in taking it back to the ground, but looks like they want to slug it out here.
Pretty good flurry.
A lot of action. You hear the crowd in the background get into it. This is what they came to see. Double leg takedown right there.
Yep. And back on top.
And back into the half guard. I'd expect to see him work the pass here, just like he's done in the previous 2 rounds. And there he goes. He's got side control now. I'd expect to see some knees coming in right there. Gary, those knees, they may not look to the casual observer like they do a lot of damage. I promise you, you keep hitting them in the same place, it's going to wear on you.
It's like for people who are familiar with boxing, when somebody keeps going to the body, after a while the body shots start to take a toll, really wears you down.
It does, and you never get back that cardio or that energy that you had before you got hit in the body a few good times.
Well, I would say that barring something strange happening here, Elledge is going to take this fight.
It looks like it. I mean, he has shown positional control through definitely the later 2 rounds. The first round kind of up in the air, questionable maybe, but he has been dominant on top in the second 2 rounds.
Of course, in amateur wrestling, he'd have got a pin a long time ago.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There goes some more knee.
You hear the judges beating on the table 10 seconds, inside of 10 seconds now. Both these guys are going to try to finish strong at the final bell.
Well, we'll await the judge's decision as this one went the distance.
Crowd seemed to like it.
Yep. Now, as we said, this is Pla's debut. Elledge doesn't have a whole lot of fights under his belt.
No, sir. He's 0-1 right now.
So trying to go back to 500 for his career.
Another interesting thing, and we might want to talk about through the night here, is being that it's amateur and these guys aren't making money to do this, they all have day jobs, so they're training in their spare time when they can.
Right.
Elledge is actually a firefighter in his day job. So he's following in good footsteps. UFC Chris Lytle is notorious for being a firefighter during the day and training at night, but he's competed at the highest levels doing that. So, Elledge is in good company.
I think later on we're going to have some folks maybe involved in law enforcement, things like that. There you see that flurry right there.
Yeah, they're going hard after it right now. Nothing really came of this, but they did sling some leather at that point in time. Backing away, getting ready to re-engage.
And people have no idea how much energy that takes.
Oh gosh, it is incredible the amount of energy it takes. And another thing people don't understand is, well, it cut off just short, but trying to take somebody down, Gary, you've wrestled, you understand that. It is difficult to take somebody down. You expend a lot of energy.
Yep. Fight Fusion, some of the sponsors that have made things possible here. I saw the ring doctor take a good close look at some stuff there just to make sure everybody was all right too.
Of course. They addressed that at length in the rules meeting about the doctor, how he's here to help and serve, and he said he's got his suture kit in the back. Lord willing, we don't see anybody get cut up too bad, but if they do, the Fight Fusion folks have the doctors on hand to handle such a situation.
All right, well, we still await the judge's decision, and here we go.
And that was just the first fight. Give it up for these warriors. All right, by unanimous decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Brent Elledge.
Not a real surprise there.
No, I can't say it was. Pla was a game opponent, but Elledge just seemed to have just a little more skill on him, and he wanted it. You could tell he was working the top position very well from the ground.
All right, the winner of the first fight of the evening, Brent Elledge from Team Praxis. We're back with more in just a moment.
What does Applied Images Incorporated mean? It means real people answering the phone. It means real people servicing your business or school. Quick response along with quality production is demanded in our world of business today, and no one knows that better than Applied Images Incorporated. After years of working with graphic artists, marketing managers, public relations departments, architects, and engineers, we have developed an extensive experience in our trade that is second to none. We excel in our knowledge of graphics and printing, signs, banners, posters, brochures, training manuals, manuals for schools and businesses. And now, custom t-shirt printing is available. You must see our line of t-shirt designs. What does Applied Images Incorporated mean? It means quick response, quality production, and real people answering the phone. Churches, businesses, schools, picnics, trade show displays. Call us today for any printing or graphics needs that you may have. Applied Images Incorporated at Gainesville Whiteprint, 312 Bradford Street in Gainesville, 770-534-2086.
If you are looking for a quality used car, then look no further than the car store on McKellar Road between Gainesville and Beaufort. You won't find clunkers or junkers at the car store, just vehicles you'll be proud to own. At the car store, they can finance you on the spot, no matter what your credit is. They have a variety of plans. You can even phone your payments in. At the car store, they've been giving outstanding service to the community for over 20 years. At the car store, everybody rides.
Come on down to the car store. We can make you happy. My name's Bob Watson, and I guarantee it.
All right, we are back. We understand they're going to introduce the blue corner first. That's going to be the program for the evening. So fighting out of the blue corner for this next one, 29 years old, Durain Carter from Carter Hybrid. And then his opponent, and we'll see him in just a moment.
Looks like Durain trains in karate. The one that's made karate popular on the national scene lately has been Lyoto Machida. A lot of folks question the effectiveness of karate in the cage, but Machida, former light heavyweight champion in the UFC, has brought karate back to the forefront. So it'll be interesting to see Durain and use his karate. He definitely wants to keep this fight standing. That seems to be his strength. That's what he professes his strength to be. So it'll be interesting if it goes to the ground because his opponent is trained in the ground.
Right, and this is a veteran fighter. If I'm looking at his age, he just back in March turned 37.
Yeah, even though he's got some age experience on him, this is his debut fight, both of these guys. So we'll see what they bring to the cage.
John Parwana from Yamabushi Karate, but he's also got a strong background in not only karate but jiu-jitsu. Did I say a brown belt in both?
Yeah, it looks like he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu too. Now, it's Aiki jiu-jitsu, which I'm not uber familiar with, but most jiu-jitsu is a ground art, so to be a brown belt in that is pretty advanced. He also has a strong karate background. He's won several semi-contact championships, so we may have a striking battle on our hands here.
Well, we'll see. From the red corner, Parwana, John Parwana. Again, the maximum weight for this class is 205. Both of these guys deciding to get in the cage and see what it's like there, not just do this is a hobby.
Well, Durain in his day job is a law enforcement, so I imagine he's had to get physical at times in the past. We'll see what experience he can bring from his day job into the cage.
Well, you know, a lot of times law enforcement gets a background in some kind of self-defense or martial arts.
They always do combative training. They got to keep their skills fresh, and they're always evolving.
See if either one, as Bray has said, wants to take the other one down. So we're going to have a striking battle on our hands.
I imagine with their backgrounds, both these guys want to keep it standing, and so if they're with the experience they have, I would hope to see some sharp and crisp striking.
Well, let's see. All of these fights, again, amateur fights tonight. I saw we listed as the maximum weight of 205, but one guy was listed at 206. Whoa.
Whoa. And that was over.
Really quick.
Durain Carter came out. I was a little surprised. His hands looked low, but Parwana just left an opening. He caught him flush on the jaw.
Well, that one got over quick.
Durain showing respect to his opponent. Doctor's right on the scene.
See if we get, here we go. Bang. He hit him twice.
Oh, yeah.
He hit him twice, hit him in combo, hit him with the left, then with the right.
It looked like that left was a little bit of a glancing blow, but he had him reeling. He was on his heels, and Durain came back with a strong right hook to finish that fight.
See if we can get one more shot at that replay. You see if he set him up with the left and then finish him with the right. Sometimes when you get a glancing blow like that, you let your guard down. You're trying to back up and get away.
Here we go. Look at Durain's hands down, but Parwana throws that jab.
There's
he
the
comes
left.
back. There's the right hand. Lights out. That's a shame. Parwana came in with a strong striking background, and Durain Carter just didn't seem to get that memo.
Well, he's being attended to now by the ring physician, taken care of. So we'll be back with more action from the Georgia Mountain Center in just a moment.
Proper maintenance is vital to the life of your car. Let the experts at Mountain View Auto Repair take care of all your vehicle needs. Owner Danny Hammock has over 50 years of experience in the automotive business and has earned a reputation of being honest and fair with his customers.
We try to treat everybody like I want to be treated. You know, that works out pretty good, and try to keep the price as low as possible to keep people coming in and give them a good price for their money. We do whatever turns up on a car, any kind of work, any kind of car, just it don't really matter. We do it all. People say, when you going to quit and retire? I say, oh, probably never. You know, as long as the Lord let me work, I'll probably be here working.
I've been trading with Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair for about 20 years. I've always been very happy with his work. It's very easy for me to talk with him. He doesn't talk down to me. He explains it in a manner that I can understand.
Most of my customers are like friends here. You know, I've known them so long, and I count them as, most all of them as friends to me.
Remember, when you want honest, reliable service, put Mountain View Auto Repair under your hood.
Here we go. We're looking at the replay again.
Let's see if we can set him. He sets him up. There was a little left. Bang. It was almost a right-left-right combination that set him up. That first right hand didn't really do much. Then the left hit him a little bit more, and then the right one, that next right, big right hand finished him off.
It looked like Parwana threw a little jab out there trying to gauge his distance, and I don't know if he found it, but Carter sure found his.
Yep. Well, he's on his feet now, so everything's going to be all right, looks like. That's good news.
And hats off to Adam Sellers, our referee. He knew that as soon as that right came in there, that Parwana was knocked out. He stepped in real quick to protect the fighter. You got to love that.
We've got some middleweights. We've got some guys that would be considered probably light heavyweights coming up. We even got a few lightweight bouts coming up. So all over the gamut tonight.
Yeah, there's a couple catchweight bouts on here, and then we see some fights all over the board, different weight classes. Some little guys fighting at 125 pounds coming up, which I expect that to be a dynamite fight.
I used to love to watch the lightweights fight in boxing. You remember the famous Danny Little Red Lopez and people like that? It could hit you about 5 times before you could go, There you go. Celebrating his opening victory. As you said, some good sportsmanship there. All right, we got more action coming up. We'll be back in just a moment from the Georgia Mountain Center.
Welcome to another season of Extreme Christian Outdoors. Travel along with Jeff Deaver and the guys as they bag wild boar, deer, and ram.
Yeah, baby. Look away, Kyle.
Have a laugh with Mater and Phil. It's outdoors like you've never seen it before on Extreme Christian Outdoors. Look for it on this channel.
All right, dropping down in weight class now, down to the 150 pounders. From America's top team, the American top team fighter, Nito Gill. And if I'm doing my math right, Bray, he's going to turn 19 in November. So we've got some younger fighters coming into this particular one.
Yeah, Nito actually is listing on his sheet here that he's still in high school. So
really? I guess he's going to graduate soon.
Let's hope so.
I don't see they don't list the high school that he's from.
No, sir, but he trains with Jacal down in Atlanta, so he's probably from the Atlanta area down there. He's experienced in BJJ, and he lists that as his main strength. And I imagine training with Jacal, he's probably pretty proficient. So he's probably going to try to take this fight to the ground.
Nito Gill, representing the blue corner, American top team. Enter the ring first. Again, these fighters right at 150 pounds. Georgia Mountain Center, the venue. Got lots more action tonight. This is the third of 9 scheduled bouts. Lanky youngster. Now, when I tell people I wrestled, Bray, they said, oh, yeah, you look like a wrestler. And I said, no, I don't. Wrestlers look like this guy, Nito Gill. Long arms, long legs, lots of leverage.
He looks like he's in shape, too.
Yeah. I think he could go the distance if he has to.
Well, neither one of these guys wanted to go to distance. They don't want to leave it in the judges' hands. It's always a scary moment when you're standing out there and you're leaving it in the judges' hands. I'm sure they want to finish it. And it's going to be hard to top what Durain Carter just did, but I bet you these guys are going to try.
DJ Tunnel now entering the ring, fighting out of the red corner, representing Yamabushi. He's got a birthday coming up in September. He'll turn 23, so not a whole lot of difference in ages in these fighters.
No, but he's been training a long time. He's been in karate for a while, probably since he was about 5 or 6 years old. He's earned his 4th degree black belt in karate, so we'll see if he wants to keep it standing. Both of them seem to have the same amount of experience in jiu-jitsu, so I have to give the advantage to Tunnel on the feet, but on the ground it could be evenly matched.
Lance Gill being introduced now by ring announcer AJ Styles.
That looks blue. Coming in 151. He's 5'9", out of Yamabushi Karate in Blairsville, Georgia, with an 0-1 record. DJ Tanaka.
Well, as these fighters gone down in weight, sometimes you see them move up a lot in quickness. Let's see if that happens. If they press the action from the opening bell. Let's go. Let's see.
Little guys just don't have as much mass to carry around. They're able to move it a little bit quicker.
That's what amazes you about some of the heavyweight, the great heavyweights that you see, how fast they are, in addition to being big.
Yeah, if you look at the early, the wrestling days of Brock Lesnar, it's incomprehensible to me that a guy that big can move that fast.
He was the NCAA champion in Minnesota before he got into professional business.
Former WWF standout,
yep.
Former UFC champion. That sucker has to cut weight to make the 265-pound weight limit.
Yeah, I think he wrestled 285 in Minnesota, didn't he?
I believe you're right.
I think I saw him 2 years. He was runner-up 1 year and then won it the next year, I believe.
Yeah, he was a multiple-time All-American up there.
All right, Adam Sellers, the referee, says we're ready. Fight. There's the bell.
And as expected, Tunnel comes out swinging early, but Gill takes him right to the ground, working to pass the guard right now.
Well, that's exactly what you said. One's a karate guy and one's a jiu-jitsu guy. So the karate guy came out hitting and the jiu-jitsu guy grabbed him and took him down.
I don't think he wanted any part of him up on his feet. He's passing out a side control. We'll see him work some strikes there with his knees, possibly, wanting to move and improve his position to mount. But remember, and there he goes to the mount position, but remember, in Georgia amateur rules, he cannot hit to the head here. He can do body strikes. He'll probably be working the body, trying to loosen him up for a submission.
For a moment, he had a reverse Nelson in as he crawled his way up the body. I wonder if he's got a wrestling background.
He may. That's a common position in jiu-jitsu. You gotta always be thinking about head control on the ground.
Well, as you said, can't hit him in the head, but there he goes, trying to control him with that reverse Nelson, and now Tunnel trying to.
You see Adam Sellers step in. I think one of those punches got a little too close to the head for him, so he may, yeah, it looks like he's standing him back up.
Standing him back up, so Tunnel was trying to squirm to get his way out, and the referee said, nope, you got a little too close to the head there, so let's start from here again.
And right back to the ground,
right
yeah.
Back, yeah.
Nito doesn't want to stand. He feels comfortable on the ground. He wants to be down there.
Exact opposite of what his opponent wants to do.
Right. They're both blue belts in jiu-jitsu, which is should say that they're pretty comparable in skill. But again, Nito Gill trains with Jakal, and Jakal is a wizard on the ground. You see Jakal's influence on him right now as he keeps it on the ground and working for a submission, trying to flatten him back out.
Make sure you don't fingers in the mouth, man. Right on his chin, make sure you don't put them in his mouth.
Got a good grip of his head there. I can't see the far side what he's working. Possibly some kind of choke, but he's pretty competent positionally on top there.
Right now it's just basically a reverse Nelson, so he's holding him with that and trying to use the knees or strike with his other hand.
Well, Tunnel's got a hold of Gill's head up there, and he doesn't want to do that. There's nothing he can do from there. He needs to get out of that and try to work back to the guard position and escape. There we go. We see Gill make a smooth transition to the mount. Again, no hitting on the head. There's armbar attempt, and there it is. That's how MMA works. Very, very smooth transition from the American Top Team product. Tunnel did exactly what you don't want to do. You never want to reach up from that position because it's a gift.
Well, they had him. It was holding him with what the wrestlers would call either a reverse Nelson or a regular Nelson, and then, as you said, the transition. See if we get the replay here.
Here he goes. You see him blocking that arm, and he steps over the head, and he sits back quickly. Tunnel had no chance to defend that. He controlled the arm all the way through the process, did not allow him to escape, sits back for a strong arm bar. Tunnel tapping real quick, and of course, Adam Sellers right on top of the action.
All right. Going to have the announcement in just a moment here. Yeah, posing for some pictures.
Yeah, we don't need to wait for the judges on this. Everybody saw exactly what happened in that ring. There's Jacal getting pictures with his student.
Pretty good crowd on hand at the Georgia Mountain Center to watch this night of fights go down.
2 minutes and 38 seconds in the first round. Tap out due to armbar. Nato Chill.
All right. The 185-pounders get back in the ring in just a moment. We're back with more from the Georgia Mountain Center right after this.
There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spiritware and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
Smith's Cleaning of South Hall has many services to offer businesses throughout Hall County and the surrounding areas. No matter how small or how large your projects are, we can help. Smith's Cleaning of South Hall has 2 large industrial riding scrubbers that are available to clean manufacturing and/or warehouse floors. Call Smith's Cleaning of South Hall at 770-531-1533 for a free estimate.
So let's get this party started.
Here we go, coming back to the action here, Gary. It's going to be an interesting matchup, I believe, on this one.
Greg Dennis from Team Praxis will be introduced first. Another fairly young man. Well, when you get to be my age, everybody's fairly young. This one looks like he's going to be turning 20 years old later on this year.
He's been training for about 4 years under Cam McHargue down in Macon. He favors the stand-up here. And he's actually one of our most experienced fighters to date, bringing a record of 2-0 into the cage. He said earlier that he expects this fight to end via KO or TKO. I don't think he's too particular.
Either one would be a win for Greg Dennis, fighting out of the blue corner.
Some of these guys, they don't have real far career aspirations in MMA. They do it because they love it and they want the experience, but Greg expects to go pro someday.
Well, he's young enough to where he's still got that option out in front of him. He'll turn 20 in September. Now, he's going to be fighting a guy who's going to turn 30 later on this month of May.
Yeah, you know, folks told me when I hit 30 I'd tell a difference, and I didn't believe them until I hit 30. But I expect Clint to come out fighting strong. He's trained by Diego Saravia, and Diego, there's no other way to put it. He's just a stud. He's a USC veteran, jiu-jitsu black belt, just a lot of heart, game opponent. So I expect, again, this is going to be a stylistic clash. Greg wants to keep it standing, and Clint's going to want to take it to the ground and show off his jiu-jitsu skills.
Clint Musgrove fighting out of the Ultimate Combat stable. Both these fighters around 185 pounds. I imagine AJ will give us their exact height and weight in just a moment.
This is not Clint's first time into the cage either. He's got a AMI record of 0-1. So we got a stylistic matchup, and we got a disparity in the records. Of course, not a great disparity. The Georgia Commission does a real good job, and as I mentioned earlier, Fight Fusion does a real good job of making sure these guys are evenly matched, because they want to protect everybody and they want to have good fights for the crowd.
Well, Jay Jones wants to promote local fighters from around the area and let their people come and see them.
And that's the key. You know, you're here to exhibit or showcase your skills and put on good fights for the fans, and the local pool just continues to grow. So we'll see a lot more out of Fight Fusion in the future.
Introducing Greg Dennis. You see Dennis there in the mostly black shorts with the white letters and the white trim. He'll be fighting Clint Musgrove, who'll be fighting out of the red corner. Clint has got mostly white shorts on, so it'll be easier to tell them apart.
Fighting out of the red corner. He's 6'3", 182. Fighting out of Ultimate Combat, Cumming, Georgia, with an 0-1 record, Clint Musgrove.
Dennis out of the blue corner with the blue gloves. Musgrove out of the red corner with the red gloves and the white shorts. So let's see. Adam Sellers, the referee, gives them the final instructions. We're just about ready for our fourth fight of the evening.
Locking them up, going back to the corners, and out fight. Musgrove tried to take that kick, catch it, and take it to the ground, but Dennis wasn't having it.
Pretty sharp. Kick for the smack. There again. There you go. Got him off balance.
There he goes, taking him down, pushing him up against the cage.
Took him down pretty hard, too.
Sellers talked about that in the rules meeting. He said, you know, he likes the wrestling. He likes to see some of that. You're not going to be too aggressive on the slams, but he's going to let him go. Musgrove passing the side guard.
Top of him now. Trying to work up that head. Again, amateur rules can't strike him in the head.
Not on the ground.
No, not on the ground, that's right. You need to make that distinction. Yeah, you can pop them all you want when you're standing. You can't hit them in the head once you get them down.
That's right. We've seen that earlier, haven't we?
Yeah, I had one. The referee brought him back to the feet.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure on why he did that. I think it was because of strike to head, so he's on top of that. He's watching it. He's going to make sure all the rules are followed. Still working side control here. Musgrove wants to improve his position and try to take the mount. It doesn't look like he's working for it right now. And I'm a little surprised I'm not seeing some knees to the body at this point in time.
Maybe working for the submission. Trying to work up.
He seems to be trying to isolate that right arm with his legs. If he does that, he can open up the body. Oh, he steps over. Not much of anything right there. Locks in a triangle. It's hard to finish the triangle from the side there. Not impossible, but it's hard to finish. We'll see how Musgrove works this. And he does. He gets the tap. Holding on to that body, pinching his knees together. If
he had his legs up around his throat too. So
he had one leg over the shoulder, one leg under the armpit. And what that does is it cuts off the blood to the head. If you don't tap, he'll go to sleep. It's happened before in mixed martial arts competition, and I'm sure we'll see it many more times.
Well, when I was back 1,000 years ago in college, I had an instructor who was, we're going to see the replay right here, right now.
He's got that triangle locked in, cutting off the blood to the head, squeezing that body. You see the arch he's putting into Dennis right there. And Dennis just had nowhere to go, couldn't fight out of that. Musgrove gets the submission win.
There you go. I was going to tell you, when I had a judo instructor in college, was also the wrestling coach at Georgia when Georgia had a wrestling team, and he showed us how to do the real sleeper, when you cut off the blood supply and the oxygen supply. Yeah, that puts you to sleep quick. All right, we're back with more from the Mountain Center in just a moment.
What's your name?
How you doing? I'm Pastor Maddox at World Redeeming Ministries. Just come on out and have great fellowship and fun with us, where God lives, and we will certainly enjoy having you. You will be the guest of honor in the house of the Lord. And we just want to say to you again, we love you, we're going to pray for you, and you're on the winning team. We're World Redeeming Ministries, where we're redeeming the time. So come on out and be with us, and your life will never be the same again.
2 minutes and 8 seconds in the first round. Tap out due to a shoulder lock. Your winner, Clint Musgrove.
There you have AJ Styles giving the pronouncement of the winner.
Maybe AJ saw something I didn't see. He's called it a shoulder lock. And it does appear that Dennis is holding his shoulder, but from where I was sitting, it looked like a triangle.
Well, he had him stretched in the old, AJ ought to be aware of the old abdominal stretch from his wrestling background. That was way back in the dark ages, but in any event, it was a submission. So we've had a couple of submissions, a knockout and a unanimous decision so far here at the Georgia Mountain Center on the Night of Fights. It's presented by Fight Fusion. We're with North Georgia Video Productions. I'm Gary Glenn along with Bray Devers, Jimmy Giles, and Nick Wright on the crew tonight. And we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with more action still to come. We've got some more middleweights, lightweights, and some light heavies coming up at the Georgia Mountain Center. We're back in just a minute.
Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round.
Mountain View Auto Repair is the place to bring your vehicle. They'll always treat you right. The service is good and the prices are very reasonable.
You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes.
My wife and I bring our cars to Mountain View Auto Repair because they're honest, they do good work, and their prices are reasonable.
So visit owner Danny Hammock and his staff of professionals at 3365 Mountain View Road in Gainesville, or give them a call at 770-535-7278. That's Mountain View Auto Repair for your complete auto service.
All right, we are back here at the Georgia Mountain Center. Gary Glenn along with Bray Devers. Fight Fusion Night of Fights here at the Georgia Mountain Center in Gainesville, Georgia. Our ring announcer is AJ Styles. A lot of you are familiar with him from his wrestling background. We are at the 145-pound class. Is now fighting out of the blue corner is going to be Ralph Ospina from the Hardcore Gym, 25 years old. Just turned 25 back in April. His opponent, we'll see in just a moment, will be Justin Hash from the Underground Gym. He'll be turning 24 later on this year.
Yeah, the Hardcore Gym puts out a lot of good fighters. It really came on the map years ago when Forrest Griffin started fighting, but they've pushed some other good guys out of there. Forrest, as we all know, is a former light heavyweight UFC champ, and another guy that still trains there is Brian Bowles. He was a former WEC champ, and now he's fighting in the UFC. So I love to watch the hardcore guys fight. They always bring it. They They are well trained, well conditioned, and those guys are just game. There is no quitting any of them.
Justin Hash from the Underground Kenpo Academy. I need to give it the full title there. But the first fighter introduced, Ospina from the Hardcore Gym. Looks like he's in great shape, got a little muscle to him.
I'd expect nothing less from the Hardcore Gym. Adam and Rory get their guys in shape. Always, always, always.
A little showmanship here for the fighter from the red corner, from the Underground Kenpo Academy, Justin Hash. He'll turn 24 in September.
Sounds like Justin brought a few friends and family along with him.
Ospina fighting out of the blue corner with the blue gloves. He'll have on the typical hardcore outfit, the short shorts there. Yeah, if you got a nice body, might as well just show it off.
Gotta love the fight shorts. Gotta love them.
These look like some bicycle shorts somebody threw in the dryer.
Both of these guys have amateur experience. Ralph is 2-0 coming into this fight, and Justin Hash is 1-0. So somebody is going to leave here tonight with a blemish on their record.
Well, fighting out of the red corner, Justin Hash with a little bit of the flag motif on his fighting togs, as it were, with the red gloves, and some last-minute instructions here, and we'll get the introduction from AJ.
He's 5'6", 144.5, with a 2-0 record. Ranked number 2 by Georgia Fighters Magazine, fighting out of Hardcore Gym in Athens. And to my left,
I expect both of these guys to come out, and you may see a ground fight here. Both of them are well versed in wrestling and jiu-jitsu, so we may see some ground action here, although Justin says he wants to finish with a knockout or a tap out in the first round.
Well, when somebody says that, you expect them to press the action right from the bell.
Yeah, come out swinging.
All right, here we go.
Both fighters trying to find their range at the beginning, slinging some heavy hands. Ooh. And Hash takes it to the ground, catches a kick from Ospina. Ospina working from the guard. Looks like he's trying to throw a triangle, and Hash backs out.
That's a danger, isn't it? If you throw that kick too high, somebody takes you down real fast.
But it doesn't look like Ospina is out of his element here. He looks real comfortable on the ground, working some stuff. Working for an umplata on that left arm there, or that right arm. Switching back to a triangle. We'll see if he can finish it. I imagine it's really hard to finish those triangles with those shin guards on. But that's what you got to deal with when you fight amateur in Georgia. He's trying to get the angle over here. Having trouble locking that triangle in. He wants to get a figure 4 type lock with his legs over there to really sink that thing in. But like I said, the shin guards and preventing him from doing it. And he's having trouble getting the angle, but
he's keeping it tight.
He's working it. He wants to see that finish.
Figure 4, by the way, I think is on the way out in amateur wrestling.
Yeah, but it looks like that triangle's deep. I expect Ospina to work real hard here to try to finish it. Hash is pretty much immobilized, can't really hit, can't really get out, so we'll see what happens here. Doesn't want to tap, but I don't know if there's a way out of this. And Ospina lets it go. Comes up to side control. Hash did get out.
He may have figured he was getting close to the end of the round. Try something else.
And there he goes with the knees to the body. Remember, no head contact on the ground here. Be careful with those knees. He doesn't want to creep up towards the head.
Right, hit him in the shoulder that time.
Yep, Adam Sellers will step on that real quick.
Well, he had a little further to go than I thought.
Hash is unable to get back to guard position, which he's trying to do. But Ospina isolates that arm. Let's see what he does with it. 10 seconds to go. And he gets the mount. Can't punch to the head. But he's working for the armbar. Hash is not going to let him have it. And Ospina threw an up kick in there at the end. Now, you can't kick to a down opponent, but if the guy's standing above you like that, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
The guy on the ground will be throwing those kicks up.
Both fighters in the first round showing some moves, showing some action.
Both of these boys know that they only got 3 minutes to get in there and make something happen. And like we talked about earlier, these lighter weights, they like to go.
Hash showed some gameness when Ospina had that leg lock around his head and he didn't tap or anything. He just kept hanging on and finally forced him to give up on the hold.
Yeah, and here we go on the replay, this initial takedown. Ospina kicks up to the head and Hash just kicks it, takes it straight to the ground. Didn't seem to faze Ospina. He's comfortable on the ground as he is standing, so not a problem there. Ospina lists one of his fighting influences as Spider Monkey. So I'm not sure we've seen that tonight, but if I see something that looks a little unorthodox, I'll attribute it to Spider Monkey style.
Both fighters now back on their feet. Pretty crisp kick, but it misses.
Throwing some high kicks, trying to get him up there in the head. Ospina catches him with a left hook. But Hash picks him up and takes him down again. And again, we're back to the triangle position. Hash wants none of it this time, picks him up, slams him, but Ospina still has it locked in. We'll see if he can finish this time.
Rebounded pretty fast from the hook to take him down, but Ospina with the legs locked again. And there's another.
There's another smash, picking him up. Doesn't like being in that triangle position.
Well, after a while, that's got to take a toll on you, too.
Yeah, it'll wear your legs out real quick. You see Ospina waiting for him to get up. You can't kick or hit to a downed opponent in Georgia amateur rules, so Ospina well aware of the rules, trying to take full advantage of it.
Second round action here. Justin Hash and Ralph Ospina.
Ospina takes it to the mount position again. You hear his corner yelling blows to the body, blows to the body. You can wear him out with the blows to the body from here. But, you know, just it changes your entire strategy when you can't punch to the face. Good top mount position from Ospina here.
Yep. He's on top. Hash with the red, white, and blue shorts, at least part of it, with the flag motif on the bottom now.
It looked for a while that he was trying to get Ospina into the half guard position, but Ospina didn't give it up because he doesn't want to lose that position on top. That's the most dominant position you can be in, and Ospina is very comfortable there, working some punches to the body, trying to set up a submission.
If you're scoring the fight right now, you have to give the edge to Ospina.
Yeah, even though Hash has the 2 takedowns, Ospina has been absolutely dominant on the ground. His trainers, Adam and Rory Singer, both black belts under 5th degree black belt Roberto Traven. So you know they have ground skills.
Referee looking it over very closely to make sure none of those blows get up around the head.
10 seconds left in the round. Ospina hears it, wants to finish strong.
Sometimes if you do finish strong, you leave a little lingering impression, shall we say, in the judge's mind.
Yeah, obviously it's the last thing they see before the break in the rounds, and you want to leave a powerful impression.
Got round 3 to come. Gary Glenn and Bray Devers coming to you from the Georgia Mountain Center in Gainesville, Georgia. Mixed martial arts action. Still more fighting to come. These are the 145-pounders there.
Here you see another takedown, and Hash was really trying to work to the side, but before he could do it, Ospina throws in the triangle, and you're going to see Hash pick him up and slam him. That takes an incredible amount of power. Even though these guys are light, the power to pick somebody up in a triangle hold like that, you got to carry all their weight, and it's no small feat that he just did. And he actually did it twice.
I've seen fights, Bray, where somebody did that and the man on the bottom was so stunned that the fight was over.
Yeah, the most famous one happened in Pride when Quentin Rampage Jackson picked, I believe it was a Rona up and slammed him, knocked him out on the slam.
Well, you got to figure that's a lot of force being distributed along your body.
Incredible amount of force, and if your head snaps back and hits that mat, there's some give there, but it ain't enough.
Both fighters now, third round, another takedown.
And that just really confuses me. Hash hasn't done a whole lot on the ground, but he's still going and trying to take him down. So I don't understand the strategy there. Here he is stuck under bottom and half guard, and you know he hasn't been too successful on the ground to this point. So you got to question the strategy there. I don't know what his trainers are telling him.
Well, it looks like he's just giving Ospina the chance to be dominant and pick up some more points than the judges.
Yeah, and you see him trying to push off the cage, which is illegal, I'm sorry. You cannot grab the cage with your hand, but you can certainly push off of it, trying to get some leverage to come out on top or maybe even get back to the guard, but he has not been successful thus far.
Ospina trying to work the body.
And there he goes, taking the mount position. Hash offers little resistance. He just stepped over very, very easily. Ospina raining down punches. And Hash shows a little bit of life, trying to pop up, but Ospina, as he has been the whole fight, confident on top. He did get back to the guard, but Ospina passing quickly. Or attempting to pass. He's stuck there in the half guard. If he can get that leg out. And it's back to the, looks like he's back to working the mount, and there it is. Ospina's been absolutely dominant on the ground in this fight. Hash hadn't been able to shake him, but there he reverses it. Good for him. But right back to the triangle position, and another slam.
Yep. Crowd likes that.
Hash showing some life here in the third round.
Well, he knows, at least he's got to figure he's behind on points. So he's going to try to make something happen here at the end of the third round.
Tried to pick him up again, but Ospina had his leg and he just couldn't do it. He needs to get that left arm across his body to finish the triangle. And actually he's got what we call a reverse triangle on, where it's a little bit different finish. We'll see if Ospina can capitalize on it. And that's it, folks. We're taking it to the judges' card. Gary, I don't know if there's really a question on who won this fight.
Showing some life at the end was Justin Hash, but we have Ralph Ospina ahead. But it is not our opinion that counts.
It's not our opinion. Maybe the judges who are a little bit closer to the action saw something we didn't, but Ospina was just dominant. Good cardio, pressed the pace, controlled the action, did get taken down, but once on the ground, he controlled the action. He went wherever he wanted to with it.
And these slams by Hash, although the crowd loved him, didn't seem to bother Ospina very much.
It didn't seem like it, and you know, the judges will look at that, but he didn't seem to do anything once he slammed him. Just not a whole lot of advance in his position or progress after the slam.
Well, it will be in the hands of the judges. We'll get the decision from AJ Styles in just a moment, our ring announcer. Next up on the card, I got to tell you, is the 125-pounders, the lightest weight we have seen so far tonight.
Man, I expect there to be fireworks in that fight.
Here we go. Judge's decision.
All three judges scored in the same 27-30. Unanimous decision. Your winner, round.
Well, as we thought, it was a decision in favor of Ospina, and you heard AJ say a unanimous decision. All right, back with those 125-pounders in just a moment when we continue Fight Fusion from the Georgia Mountain Center.